Here is your long, emotional, hook-based, 40-minute pace YouTube story, written in plain paragraphs, no headings, deep character development, smooth pacing, and a strong message. It includes a hook that grabs viewers immediately and naturally encourages likes and subscriptions within the story, not as a separate heading. Mom said lonely people need friends, so I can be yours if you want, the little boy whispered, his voice trembling just enough to feel like Christmas lights flickering in the dark. The passengers around them froze for a heartbeat. And the CEO, who had spent years mastering boardrooms, hostile takeovers, and billion-dollar negotiations, could only stare, unprepared for the one sentence that hit harder than any business crisis in his life. If you're watching this, don't click away, because what happened next changed not just their Christmas, but their entire lives. And if this moment touches your heart even a little, make sure to like this video and subscribe. Stories like this deserve to be heard. The plane cabin hummed softly under the glow of dim Christmas-themed lights. Snowstorms had delayed flights all across the country. People were tired, irritated, restless, but the little boy in seat 14A wasn't any of those things. His name was Eli, 7 years old, wearing a puffy jacket 3 sizes too big and clutching a gingerbread cookie wrapped carefully in tissue paper. Hhis shoes barely touched the floor. Next to him, in seat 14B, sat Alexander Hale, the CEO whose face often appeared on magazines, stock market segments, and business podcasts. Known in the corporate world as the Iron Executive, Alexander traveled alone, lived alone, and, though he'd never say it aloud, felt alone. Christmas was just another day on his calendar. No family dinners, no laughter, no one waiting. He had booked this flight to avoid the company Christmas party he was supposed to attend. Too many fake smiles, too much noise, too many reminders of what he didn't have. He just wanted silence. But silence was the one thing he wouldn't get tonight. The moment he sat down, Eli's eyes widened, the way a child looks at a superhero. "Hi," the boy said, swinging his legs slowly. "You look sad." Alexander blinked. "I'm not sad. My mommy says grown-ups lie when they don't want to talk about feelings." He turned to the window. "Your mom is very observant." Eli nodded proudly. "She says lonely people need friends. She says you can't fix alone with money." He paused, studying Alexander's face. "You look like you got a lot of money, but not a lot of friends." The CEO felt the words hit him harder than expected. He cleared his throat and forced a professional tone. "I have colleagues." "That's not the same," Eli said simply, biting his cookie. "Friends don't leave when they get busy." For a moment, the CEO forgot how to breathe. Before he could reply, a soft voice arrived from across the aisle. "Eli, don't bother the man," said a young woman, his mother. She looked tired in a way that wasn't just physical. Sleepless eyes, a worried crease between her brows, a faded coat. She apologized with a smile that held more exhaustion than warmth. "He's not bothering me," Alexander said before he could think. Eli grinned, leaning closer. "We're going to Grandma's for Christmas. But Mommy said we almost didn't make it because money's tight this month. We had to sell Mommy's necklace to buy the plane tickets. But she said Grandma needs us." The mother shot him a warning look. "Eli, it's all right," Alexander said. "Kids tell the truth." He glanced at her again, really looked this time. Something about the quiet strength in her eyes stirred something inside him, something old, something he'd buried. The plane shook with turbulence. Eli grabbed Alexander's hand instantly, small fingers gripping tightly. "Are you scared?" Alexander asked. "No," Eli said. "Just, sometimes when I hold someone's hand, it makes them feel brave." Mom said brave people can still need help. Alexander exhaled softly, unable to respond. When was the last time anyone held his hand? He couldn't remember. Minutes passed. Then came the announcement. Due to the storm, they might need to land in another city. Passengers groaned. But Eli whispered, "It's okay. Maybe God wants us to meet new people today." Alexander felt something tug gently at the ice around his heart. As the flight continued, small details unfolded. The boy's father, gone. The mother working double shifts to survive. Their Christmas plans held together with hope and scraped together savings. And yet Eli radiated joy like a small sun, making the passengers around them smile. At one point, he pulled out a folded piece of paper. "This is my wish list. I didn't put toys this year. I asked Santa for something else. What? Alexander asked. I asked him to send mommy a friend. Because she cries sometimes when she thinks I'm asleep. His mother's breath hitched. She quickly wiped her cheek, turning away. For the first time in years, Alexander felt a crack in his carefully built emotional walls. The turbulence worsened, but Eli kept talking. About kindness, about helping strangers, about how Christmas wasn't about gifts but about people not feeling alone. And somewhere between those words, Alexander felt something unfamiliar. Warmth. When the plane finally landed, diverted 2 states away, snow still heavy, everyone groaned again. Everyone except Eli. He jumped up and said, "Mommy, maybe we can help someone here too." Alexander surprised himself by smiling. But then came the announcement. All connecting flights canceled. No buses. No trains. Roads closed. Passengers panicked. Eli tugged Alexander's sleeve. "You look worried." "I'm thinking. Mom says worrying is pretending God won't help." Alexander huffed a half laugh. "Your mom has a lot of wisdom." "Yeah, but she needs someone to help her too." Eli looked up at him with absolute innocence. "And I think that someone is you." The CEO froze. He didn't know this child. He didn't know this woman. He didn't owe them anything. So why did he feel like destiny had just tapped him on the shoulder? He checked his phone. His company jet, unused, sitting in a nearby hangar at the original airport, could be redirected here. A thought hit him, a wild one. He turned to the mother. "Let me fly you both to your destination." She blinked. "Sir, we can't accept. It's Christmas," he said. "And, I'd like to help." Eli clasped his hands excitedly. "Mom, see, I told you lonely people just need friends." The mother covered her mouth, overwhelmed. Within an hour, they were aboard the private jet. Eli ran up and down the aisle, amazed. "This is like a Christmas movie," he shouted. Alexander watched him, feeling something warm rise in his chest, something he thought he couldn't feel anymore.